Happy Wednesday. Hopefully everyone's doing wonderful today. Reefing with O. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Hey,
Excellent. Welcome.
how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
I'm good. I'm good.
Perfect.
It's nice to be here.
It's good to have you. It's been a good month or so, Feel like it's been a while.
It's been a while. So yeah, it's been a while. I'm good. I'm getting in a better place. I mean, the last 2 months or so, I think have been a little tough. Work, some family stuff, but I am getting better. I do have a lot of people to return calls, voicemail, texts, because you were even mentioning that, hey man, haven't heard from you in a while. So I appreciate you reaching out today.
That's good. I
But it's
appreciate you
just,
joining me today. I
oh,
felt like it's
listen,
been ages. I was like, it's been at least a month since we've chatted, so let's do. All right. Hopefully the audio is sounds good on your guys' end this week. I did get a new mixer last week, right before my stream, and my audio was a bit like echoey and weird. So hopefully it's better today. We'll find out. Still figuring this thing out.
you and your gadgets, man.
It's in a quest to make the stream better, but there's always little speed bumps along the way as we slowly upgrade pieces of it.
All right. All
Yeah,
right. All right. Well, I got some equipment questions for you, and I
absolutely.
have some updates for you if anyone's interested. I know we always get off on our little tangents, but
We
you know,
do. Okay, let me answer the quick one in the chat and then ask away. So, ask our boy. AliExpress Bubble Magnus Nano Skimmer via Size Shark 150. I haven't used the Sea Chase Shark. Bubble Magnus is probably, I'd say, like a very tried and true, reliable, like budget skimmer. I might have actually used them back in my early days, but I know tons of people have used them. They do work well. Generally, the Sea Chase stuff is pretty solid. I haven't personally used the Shark though. Have you seen or used that one?
I think um, if we're talking about what I think we are, okay. So when we're talking about the in sump bubble maga skimmers, like the Curve 5, Curve 7, I think I love those. I think when it comes to nano, I think the I think the I think the CJ is better.
Okay.
But
Ha-
if the cost, if y- I think it's the CJ pump, so I think that's it. And I think the CJ ones are well designed. I've seen them at the shows. I think they're well designed. But I think on a nano tank, I
I get.
really do believe water changes are your best bet. So I would.
I would kind of agree on that one. I personally, like, I don't haven't even bothered putting one on my tank, on my nano. So it depends how big the tank is. But on a proper nano size, I don't really think you need a skimmer. If you just do water changes every few weeks, it's basically gonna do the job for you.
Yeah, agreed. So I would. I'm thinking. Yes, you're talking about $30 versus 100 and something bucks. So I would do the $30, but do more water changes.
Yeah, that's fair. The way
Like if it
I always look at it
Just
is like the price of a skimmer. You could have like a year or two worth of water changes and salt in a nano because they're so cheap.
exactly what I was gonna say. For that price, for the $25 versus 150, whatever it is, a bucket of salt, and you just do a 50% water change every month.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I think that's it.
Yes. So today I got this is just a side tangent, but the aiptasia is creeping back into my Gani tank. So I ordered up some Bergia that I have in a container, and I caught a bunch of
Mm,
aiptasia and put them in there. So I'm gonna wait till they start breeding some of them, and then I'll start adding a bunch to my tank once they start breeding.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're pretty easy to breed if you can keep up with aiptasia, but it's easy to run out of aiptasia.
Yeah,
Yep,
I've seen that. That's a tough thing to keep. When you don't want them, they're there,
pretty much.
and when you're trying to breed them, ugh, so frustrating.
A buddy's servicing this like 400, 500 gallon tank that's like 10 feet long, and there's no short of aiptasia in there. So I have a backup source.
All right,
And then I'll probably just give the guy a ton later to help deal with his tank. So win win.
makes sense.
Yep.
I like.
Okay. Equipment questions. What do you got for me?
Um, how do you feel about the oh man, a vast marine auto feeder?
The
Because
plank.
the plank. I use the Eheim slash Hydros feeder, Hydro shirt. We're in a Hydro shirt today, which I like. But whenever I mix food types, it tends to clump. So pellets, flakes.
Uh,
I like to do a variety.
I would
So
say the plank is probably really good for that one. I have it, and currently I'm feeding their reef jerky, I think they call it. But
mhm.
it is a ton of different particle sizes, and it has like little like zip tie style little auguries inside of it to help kind of move and mix it as it comes to the front. So I think it's a really cool feeder. The only downside I would say is you need some kind of an external timer or aquarium controller to control the little auger for the timing on it. So if you have a Hydros or an Apex or a JHL, then not a big deal. Um, or you could just probably use like a minute timer for like a light bulb or something, right? And do the same thing. So it'd be nice if I had built-in control, but if you already have controller, it's not a big deal. But out of the feeders I've used, it's probably one of my favorites because it holds a ton. And then again, you have a lot of flexibility on how you program it if you have a controller.
I was always worried about the size, but at the point where you have 3 Eheim auto feeder, then I think size is irrelevant, right? At that
Yeah,
point,
I'm with you on that one. Like again, like I have it on the back corner of my tank, and it's really not a big deal back there. So it depends where you put it, right? Like I wouldn't want
uh,
it on the end of my peninsula, this big honker, but if it's on the back thing against the wall where you don't really notice it, then it's not that big of a deal.
yeah, it's gonna be toward yeah, it's gonna be noticeable. But again, at the point where you have 3 Eheim auto feeders versus 1 plank,
Hmm.
at that point,
Yeah, well, that's fair. You might as well just consolidate.
yeah, I think so. So I am gonna give it a try.
Nice.
I am gonna give it a try.
But yeah, the reef jerky food that I've been using in it, it has such a variety of small to large particles that I think it'll be good for mixing up your foods.
Definitely like it. The other thing, kind of giving you a bit, is the Aqua Wiz.
I kind of want one.
Okay, all right. Um,
It looks cool. Have you used one yet?
oh my gosh, for yeah, for about it's about 6 weeks now,
Oh, you do
and
have one. You're talking about it.
yes,
Does it work
hmm
well?
it works so well. Um, it works so well. I didn't want to talk about it or do a review until I had a handle on it. When I
Hmm.
first put it on, my alk had was high.
Hmm.
So first, let me tell everyone what it is. Aqua Wiz is it's a alkalinity tester that doesn't use reagents. I'm not sure the science behind it, but it has a pH probe in it. It has air stones. It's filled with tank water and it bubbles. Again, not sure about the science. I can't explain the science, but it bubbles and does alkalinity. Because it doesn't use reagent, it tests the alkalinity every hour. It also has built-in dosing, which I'm not using, so it can test and adjust. So you can say, "Hey, you use 10 mils of alkalinity to adjust by one," and it'll adjust.
Hmm.
Which again, I'm not using, but so the not the one issue. So the thing is, you just do a one-off test with whatever test kit you choose, and I say you calibrate it every 2 to 3 weeks, and
Does it drift if you have to calibrate every 2 to 3 weeks? Like, does it drift if you don't do it?
I think it drifts, but I don't think it's crazy drift. I think
Okay.
it's just to keep it steady, right?
Hmm.
Um, and it also uses a pH probe, and it tell you. So it's been 6 weeks, and my pH probe is still 100%
Hmm.
healthy.
Oh, that's cool. So, so it tells you when to calibrate the pH probes.
No,
Okay.
this is when the pH probe need replacing.
Mm.
I say you just do if you have a HANA checker, you just test with your HANA checker every 2 weeks, and you just put it in. But you know me, I have like 3 other alkalinity testers, so I know when things are drifting.
Yeah.
Um, what happened within the time I had it is when I first put it on, my alk was 11,
Hmm.
and of course I keep my alk about 9-ish. So it was a little off. When I say off, it just means like it was point something off, but that's because the reference solution and the what it was. Listen, again, I'm trying to explain scientific things. I'm not a science, but anyway, all I did was click. So I started messing with the navigation and it said refill. So I was like, oh, let me click the refill. So once it drained the water and refilled it with like whatever it uses to. Anyway, Dev, I would say once a month you calibrate it, you refill the container. There's a seat. You just press a button on the top. there's a navigate menu on the top. You refill it, and then you do a test, and you do it. I think you're fine. That's what I've been
Okay.
doing, and it's been working really well. So
Okay.
I again
Two important
right
questions.
now.
How is the
Yep.
noise level? Because it has a bubbler, and if it's testing every hour, how's the pump noise?
So that's a good question. Last night about 11. So you wanna? I would say it's you hear it, but it's not. It's quieter than everything else, including the apex. Because last night it was about 11 p.m. and I needed to know if it was working. I had to put my hand on it to feel it vibrating.
Okay, that's
So I
quiet enough
would
for me.
say it's the quiet. Like even when the Trident is testing, I can stay anywhere in my living room and hear it because you hear the little pump.
Yep.
It
You have the
makes
little
like a
R2D2
squeaky
sounds.
sound. Yes. Um, again, love it. I'll just tell you right now, it's saying it's 8.86,
Mm-hmm.
which, again, it tests every hour. So that one might be that tested. My Apex says, so that's 8.86. When my Apex tested a few hours ago, it was 9 exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to log into another system. You see, us crazy people that have all these things.
So I guess if you look at the hours that they test at the same time, are they the
Hmm.
same offset or
Absolutely.
whatever?
I've
Yeah.
done it. When I did this last night,
Mm-hmm.
at midnight when I had everything tested at the same time, the variation was 0.12 difference between the systems,
Mm-hmm.
which for alkalinity is really, really,
That's pretty solid.
that
So,
is pretty solid. Is there another firmware for the hydros? I guess there is.
dun dun
All right,
dun.
I'll tell you my other thing. So, my KH Carer
Mm-hmm.
8.88 that tested 2 hours ago, and then my IV 8.85. So
You have four different
8.86.
elk testers on your tank?
Let's not go. All right, I'm not going to tell you anything else.
No, 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 no. Keep going, keep going. And I thought I was
I
bad with
have
two.
I have dude. All right, I'm going to stop here. So let's just say it's accurate because if I keep going, I think you're going to shame me.
No,
So
there's
you're
no
not going to
shame here.
shame me. Yeah, I have two KH Cares IV tried it. But dude, I'm just an equipment junkie.
Agreed, agreed.
Yeah, so but no offense to the IV, but I think when the reagents that I've mixed up for the IV is finished, I think now I feel good enough where the IV is coming off
Mm-hmm.
the tank. So I say the IV is coming. It has pH out. We can feed in the alkalinity.
I
So
like that.
I actually do feed. Yes. So yep, one is coming off. So there you go. You can't shame me anymore because one is coming off.
There's no shame in technology.
Yep.
Okay,
Hmm.
so you can test hourly, it's quiet, and there's no reagent. You got to recalibrate every couple of weeks.
Once a month, yeah.
That's not
No
bad.
reagents.
That's pretty good.
I know.
Yeah, I kind of want one.
All right.
So,
Right.
okay, so you're happy? So far, so
I
good?
am extremely happy. I am about to do a write up review.
Good man.
Intent.
Good man.
Yes.
Good man. Okay,
Yes.
so, and it has a BNC out, so you can pipe it into your aquarium controller.
Absolutely.
Ah, thank you. I like it. Okay.
Um, the one thing I would say is the app. Um, just I think they're working on it. So when I got it 6 weeks ago, it was only a web interface. The Aqua Wiz. Since then, they've released an app.
Hmm.
It's a little bit. It's very simple, but I always think that technology is something, unless you're GHO, something you can fix
Yep.
really quickly. But yeah, I am happy with it. And in the 6 weeks I've got it, they've made strides with the app because there wasn't an app before. There's an app now,
Mm-hmm.
and I think more features are coming. Hopefully, you can calibrate on the app.
Hmm.
Hopefully, you can initiate certain things
Nice.
like Reef. Yeah, but I am no. Come on, dude. The thing I have the most around my house in terms of supplements is my reagents. Like I got jugs of the stuff,
Yep.
man. Well, no, sorry, this is Aqua Power, sorry. But if I don't have to do that much reagents,
I like it. Beautiful.
mhm.
Beautiful. Okay, so there's a
Oh,
question earlier
one
about
more one more thing
reagent
before
for.
we go off the
Okay.
topic. It has a accessory which I don't have and I'm not going to use. We can use it to turn on and off your calcium reactor.
That's kind of cool.
Hmm.
I like it. There was a question about reagent for cage care or mixing ratio. Is it
One
just
to
like
eight.
1 to 8
Mm-hmm.
acid to water?
Water to acid.
Okay.
Yes, yes, you're right. Sorry, I'm
Eight
thinking.
eight parts
I
water to
try to
1 part
reverse
acid.
Uno you because you're Canadian and sometimes you write the dates in the opposite direction. But
How do
yeah,
you
it
write it?
is. I'm living in America, but I grew up in Jamaica. So, all right, let's not confuse ourselves. It says one part. So for the alkatronic, it's 1 to 4, and for the IV, it's 1 to 4. But for the KH Kara, it's that's terrible. You can't. Yeah, it's 1 to 8. So 1 part reagent for 8 parts RODI, and I use a scale to get it more accurate.
Yeah, I did that with the Alcatronic, same thing.
Mhm.
So what you're saying, it's sulfuric acid. Usually it's like 0.01 N or something like that. But
I don't.
you could basically probably use the same acid for the Alcatronic, the IV, the Coral Care, whatever it is. It is just a
It's the
different
same thing.
ratio.
That is the. This is the Coral View reagent that I use that I buy. So this is, yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
it's just
same
a
one I use
different.
for everything.
It might
Yeah,
just be a different water to acid ratio depending on like if it's like 0.1 N or 0.01 N. But usually you can find that online on what it is, and then you could have your universal-ish reagent.
Alcatronic, KH Kara, um, Coral View IV, the one, what's the KH Guardian?
Mm-hmm.
I think I've even heard people use it with the GHL. You just have to get the ratio, and the GHL has a dye in it, and that's why somehow you can't put the GHL back to the tank. But I think most alk testers use the same thing.
Yeah, it's just an acid that
So,
they're using to tweak the pH based off some known values to calculate it.
hmm, agreed.
I know, I like it. So, any other new reefing toys lately?
I don't think so. Oh
Nope.
gosh, no, I don't think so. No, I finally started using the. I thought, oh, that's my dog snoring. Jeez, if anybody heard that. I finally started using the heck out of those refactory dosing pumps, and I really do like them. They're nice and simple.
Nice.
Um, so no, working well. Since you and I spoke, you also gave me some advice on those Aqu- Aquamax. The Aquamax is the old name, but the dosing containers.
Yep.
So now I have 4 of them, 2 of the large, 2 of the small. So
Mm-hmm.
really like them. So yeah, but
Nice.
other than that, no. The
The vertical ones, like the DC1 and DC2, yeah, I use those too. They're good
yeah,
containers.
yep.
Yep. I got a couple new corals. That's about my only excitement. I have a copper band on hold at the pet store that I need to get one day.
Huh. Did
Once
I
I,
get any corals?
yep.
I went to since we spoke, I went to the Connecticut show, the New England Frag Farmers Market.
Oh, nice.
It's a really good show. I ended up, yeah, buying a couple of pieces. I think the show was really successful. We were there with Worldwide Corals. Worldwide Corals was in our room, so it's a high school.
Yeah.
Um, I think there's been a couple of reefing shows since then. So I went to the Connecticut show. I think there was Reef Stock.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think either of us. I think Elisa made it, if I'm not mistaken. I think Elisa made it to Reef Stock.
Yeah.
And then there was also the Reefapalooza Texas show last weekend, which I heard from a few people was really, really successful.
Nice.
A ton of people came out. So
No,
yeah,
that's pretty awesome. I wish there was more shows close to me. I'm jealous you have so many so close.
you used to go to the Niagara. That's not a thing anymore.
I don't know. It might be. I haven't went since like pre World is Crazy Times.
Devin, all right.
I
I
know.
think I've publicly shamed you enough
Yeah, you did a
to
good job.
trying you to get to one of these shows. So now I'm gonna just appeal to your,
I want.
Canadians are like pure and kind and they don't get angry. Dude, like Reefapalooza, California is literally like a quick plane ride away.
You know, either that or Orlando. One of the two have high hopes.
I'm gonna be in Orlando.
Are you? Oh man,
Yes.
it's
Or-
I,
Orlando, New York, and California are the shows I'm doing this year.
okay. If I only
Oh,
had,
and Aquashella, New Jersey is gonna be close to me later on in the year. So I might also check that out. just because it's close.
That'd be cool.
Hmm.
Orlando or Cali? If I only did one, which one would you say?
Cali, love
Cali?
Cali.
See,
Yeah,
I've never done the Cali
one
one, so
one I think it's gonna be easier for me to talk you into Cali because it's a much closer show.
yeah,
Disney's down the street. Hint, hint. Wink, wink.
that's true for both locations, but yes.
Yes. Um, I think it's an awesome place to stay
Hmm.
because of proximity to Disney. It's a good value in terms of the hotel.
And
Um,
and it's far enough away, I could probably have easier time planning it.
yes, and I think you can go on some fish tours, some tours. It'll be a
Hmm.
nice place to go on some tours.
Could be good. I
Yeah.
Yes, potential. I got a torch coral last week, a new one for the tank, and I got a new Ghani today. A little like 2 inch or 3 inch frag disc with like a couple different little Ghanies on it. So I got a
for,
couple more for the
for the Ghani
collection.
tank.
Hmm?
For the Ghani tank.
Yes.
How's that tank doing?
Wonderful. See if this works or not.
Mm.
See if I can take a quick photo. The color's off, but if that shows up
Oh, it looks nice.
to it.
What I hate about my tank, Dev, is that it's so uneven. Oh,
Uneven how?
I got some stories for you. One, I started my tank with Aqua Roche rock, and
Yes.
I decided I didn't like it, so I changed half my scape to Marco.
Hmm.
And so when I was in Connecticut, I saw Chandler Rocks had a nice piece that I thought would fit, so I bought it. Then when I entered the raffle in Connecticut, guess what I won? Rock.
Aquaroche?
No, no, I won another Aquascape, but I gave that one away
Yeah.
and kept the one I bought from Chandler. Took it home, dude. Bringing it into my apartment, smashed it.
Oh, how?
And you know how Chandler makes the intricate rock? Absolutely smashed it.
Ah,
So
dang.
definitely there was some crying,
Man,
but
can you fix it?
I spent my time. Oh, I tried. I think I'm gonna be ashamed to tell anyone this is a Chandler rock. And I know somebody told Chandler, I think Jen Snitch, and they did message me. They're like, "Oh, we heard what happened to the rock. Bring it to New York and we'll fix it for you." But I already fixed it. If you can see, if I don't know if you're seeing. So when you're looking at me, I don't know if the viewers can see it on the screen, but do you notice this rock just look ridiculously white or a little bit white?
Hmm.
That's the rock there that I'm pointing to. That just looks white.
I can't fully
That
see.
is,
I see little bits
I
of it,
know.
but
Well, if you look at the original source,
yeah.
you can see it. But yeah, it looks white. So I cried.
Dang,
I know.
that does
I
suck.
cried. So Chandler does this nice intricate scapes, and there's these overhangs, and I had the one with frag holes where you can just put the frags right in it.
Do
I just
you?
had I might as well have just bought a box of Marco rubble.
Damn. So you really dropped that one.
I dropped the box. I was bringing the box, and then I tripped to the box. It
Ah,
fell, and it did a couple of rolls. So it was like there was a bunch of dust. It was,
that sucks.
yeah, I know.
Sorry to hear that. Well, at
Mhm.
least you can reglue rock.
I did.
Yep.
So I luckily I had where'd you go? Oh,
Oh, sorry. I
I
just
had
preloaded that photo.
so a long time ago I had one of the BRS big ultra thick, and I had one of the sprays like the activator.
Hmm.
So Sunday morning I just super glue click click,
That
and
works.
I made something half decent. It's not
Nice.
again, I'm not gonna tell anybody Chandler did it unless I'm telling the story, but I think I'm kind of semi proud of what happened. So yeah.
Well, that's good. At least you fixed it.
I tried. I tried to fix it.
Okay. Just because you're asking, I just emailed myself a quick photo.
There you go.
So I
Oh man,
got
that
this
looks
guy.
so
It was for a new torch the other day. And you can kind of see right in the middle, there's that little guy there, and that's my little miniature Gunny Island E thing that I got.
nice. You have a lot of torches.
Yeah, it's a good little garden.
Okay.
Got a couple
And
different.
is that What is that on the right on the overhang in the bottom? Is
This
that
one?
a
That's a fathead
no to
dendro.
the right? Is that a no? Oh,
Oh,
that's a
there.
dendro. Yes.
Yeah, that's a dendro. And then the right, bottom right are just like those citrus, ultra citrus rhodactis mushrooms. And then
That
right in
looks
the
good.
middle, there's that like multicolor. You see a bunch of different little teeny gonies on one plug. That's my little miniature gunny garden thing. Today's latest edition.
That looks nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. What I hate about my tank now is I was saying I don't know if I have any videos is you have a section of the tank, the old section of the tank that has like semi-mature colonies where I
Mm-hmm.
didn't kill anything, and then you have sections now where I put frags. So in the middle there's like big stuff, and then towards the end now you have like frags that are still growing. So to me it just looks
My tank's gonna be there soon.
I know, but then when I know it's like you I know it's I'm not very proud of my tank. People keep asking me why I don't post. I'm not very proud of where my tank is now. I went through a lot of ups and downs last year. And again,
That's tanks do.
yeah, the stuff that made it through is big, and
Mm-hmm.
I have colonies the size of my fist,
Yeah.
and then I got frags.
Hey,
So to me it just looks
I had a football size of red dragon I butchered up, and then there's gonna be a lot more corals I'm gonna butcher up soon to be down and add new stuff. So my tank is gonna go from mature to not so mature in the near future.
hey, if you're looking for
Dun, dun, dun.
oh, you can't send me anything with a skeleton CITES.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, come to the side of the imaginary line and I'll hook you up.
Can you
Yeah.
send it to I don't know, Devin. I don't know. I think our countries right now are not friendly, so I'm
We'll
scared if I'm going
I'll
across the
float it
border.
down Niagara Falls for you. Just gotta go pick it up.
I'm worried that when I go across the border, they'll.
This cooler full of corals, drop it down the falls, let it float down.
Oh, speaking of which, dude, what? Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second. Just give me
Okay.
1 sec.
All
I
right, all
got
right.
another. Speaking of toys, I think you just reminded me. I do have another toy. Give me un momento, por favor. Ah,
CC. So I don't know. New toys are fun. I spent today doing some computer upgrade stuff, so that'll be the next part of the fun.
so one, I got my hands on this, which is cool. This is slide lock, but isn't this cool?
That's cute.
Let me see what it's called. It is called the Skimmate Stein.
Hmm. It's a beer cup that looks like a skimmer.
Eat it literally,
I like it.
or coffee. Yeah, I know. Cool, right?
That's
So
cool.
I was asking my wife and kids, what's this? My wife looked at me like, seriously?
You should know
I'm
this.
asking the kids, what does it look like? And they couldn't tell. My wife is like, oh, can't. She knew
Imagine.
exactly what I was holding.
That's awesome.
So I don't care. She says she hates the tank.
She pays
She
attention.
knew exactly what it was. And then I got, Terrence's new thing, Avid Aqua. I got one of the mega travelers.
Nice.
You know what? When I saw this, a little skeptical, but
Why?
I actually do kind of like this. Just I don't know. I thought it was interesting, but I was really kind of skeptical. But dude, once I have my hands on it, I am I like this. One, it's a frag rack, like it's a good frag rack,
Mm-hmm.
and then it doubles as. So I guess if I'm coming home from Orlando, if you're there, I'll bring the frags home with me, and then you just take the frag rack and put it
That's nice.
right in. Um,
I had that little
yeah,
mini circle one, which is kind of cool and handy.
yeah, and then the other thing that I then did is like, okay, let's not look at this in isolation. Let's look at this as the other things that are on the market. And the price isn't so bad compared to the price is actually really
How
competitive
much?
when it comes to I think this one was $80, but even considering the frag rack prices to other frag racks on the market, that's a really good price.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes with the other things. The other cool thing is listen, I'm someone who's not great with DIY, and I will pay a little bit extra for convenience. Apparently, like the magnet piece of it is really modular. So I was one of the things that again when they were talking about it was um I like that you can buy a was it the Wise camera? There's a Wise camera holder for like 20 bucks. And I think it costs like an extra 10 or 15 bucks if you're buying the Wise camera, you need the magnet. Now, the
Mhm.
fact they already have an accessory with magnets, I can just buy the magnet stick and stick it on. So,
That's true.
again, I was a little skeptical when it first came on, but man, once I got my hands on it, kind of, I'm feeling it a little bit.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, you spend that on a decent frag rack, and any of the ones that have the little silicone grippies are always a bit more. But for
Yeah.
traveling, those are like definitely the way to go.
Yeah. I was, again, something yeah, working on a write up for this, but dude, I'm someone that owns, you name it, I own a frag rack from every other, you name who makes frag racks, I have my hands on it. So when I started to compare the pricing, like I have the PNW frag racks, I have all the eShops frag racks, I have the old um I have the Aquamax frag racks. So I have
Mhm.
all the frag racks. So it's a really good value when you start to compare it. So like it.
Do you have reef racks, frag racks? Ones look like fake rock.
I do not.
What about the other ones that have the grippy ones? Forget the
I've
brand.
used the Tunsy ones,
Yeah.
a Tunsy one, and I've also made my own, taken old Ecotech magnets and like used cement and like made them into a rock.
Yep. Jordan. But do you have a rusting magnet frag rack? Okay,
Oh,
have you
I
had
have a
any
lot of
fail?
those too.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one that was, I forgot the name of it, that looks like egg crate.
Hmm.
Oh, that magnet rusted. Um, yeah, there's so many. Oh, I can't even name them, but yes, do I have a rusted frag racks? Absolutely.
Yep, they're out there. Reef racks? No. What the heck's the name of that one? Can't remember now.
Mm. Um, I also saw some. Yeah, I own a couple of those, but
Mm.
not a lot. But I'm just talking standard frag racks.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
it's a
was I
really
was
good
purposely
value.
trying to pick something that was less likely you have because you had them all. Ignore me. I'm just being a punk.
All right, no, that's good. That's good. But again, saw it
Mm.
and kind of, yeah. When I, of course, when I go to Orlando and I bring frags home, that's when I'll know
Mhm. But yeah,
um
I think you'll be good.
how it works.
Here's the real
Yeah.
question though. Can you take that on the plane?
Oh yeah, I've taken worse on the plane. Yeah.
Okay, you're good. And for us, it has been like this stupid little volume of water, so it's always a tricky bit, like the little like peak up, like 100 mil size.
That's what I do. But Dupree's not here, dude. Dupree. Okay, I'm scared to death that something will happen.
Mm.
What I've learned is that when you take it in the P cup, they will actually open it, pour out a little bit of the water, retest it, and then put it back in.
Hmm.
Dupree, my friend, dude will bring fish on the plane. And I'm like, aren't you scared? He's like, no, I bring it all the time. One
Hmm.
time he went to Florida with like fish in a bucket. I'm like, oh my, like
Really?
one of those mini. I get so worried. Oh, thank you. This is my, oh, got coffee. Woo-hoo.
Ooh,
Um,
nice.
he'll bring fish on the plane, and every time I talk to him, he'll look at me like, "Why wouldn't you?" I'm so scared.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, I've never had anything from TSA. They've never given me a hard time, never. But
See,
um,
for me, at least the cross border thing in Canada, like I don't even think they care about the coral. They care about the water volume. Like your liquids must be less than 100 mils. So I always just use those little pee cups when I do it, just to like not have
not
the
if it's
hassle.
live coral. So I always have the thing on my phone ready. So
Hmm.
not if it's live coral, and they will pour out a little water, test it, open it, um, and yeah, the one time everyone was skeptical, they were looking at it. I was flying out of Ontario Airport in California. That's a whole different story. I'll tell you another time. I saw Ontario and kept confusing it with Ontario, Canada. I saw Ontario, CA,
Hmm.
didn't realize it was Ontario, Canada. It was Ontario, California, not Ontario, Canada. But yeah, they were. I was delayed for about 20 minutes. They were looking at it, and one guy walked by. I said, "Oh, that's coral. My sister studies marine biology. I know what coral is."
Hmm.
And I luckily he was a supervisor, so everyone just they tested the water and waved me through.
Oh,
But
nice.
I haven't had any trouble. I've seen Phil, little Phil that's always with Greg at the shows. He's brought through big bags of clams. Um, I I just get scared, but I've never had an issue.
Okay, it's good to know. We'll see. I'll
Hmm.
try. I'll try it one day. I'll have to get some sacrificial corals that aren't too crazy from California on the way back just to see if I
Oh,
go.
if you come to California, I'm gonna send you video. But if you're coming to California, then I went to Steve Garrett's. You've heard about Steve
Is
Garrett's?
he out
Garrett's
the outdoor
Acropolis.
one?
One of the outdoor one because I saw a video the other day. Oh, Too Many Fish has an outdoor farm too. So I promised I wouldn't post any outdoor pictures because he didn't want anybody trying to find him or anything. So I didn't post any of the pictures of the backyard pictures, but I will send them to you.
Okay.
But
I remember somebody's I was watching online. This is like years ago, but they had all the reef tanks outside. I was like, huh.
dude, and it's sunlight, and he
Mm,
actually has to shade the sunlight,
yeah.
and then at night he has these LEDs under the water that then let everything pop.
Huh.
Like, man,
That's cool.
yeah. And his refugium, he just has for his refugium, he just leaves it unfiltered, so it gets full sunlight. So that's where all the algae grows.
That makes sense.
So yes, I'm telling you, man. When was Reefapalooza last year? What is it in August or September? There are so many pictures in my phone, but yeah, Steve Garrett, Garrett's Acropolis, and you know Garrett's frags because they're glued on like the little glass.
Yeah.
They're glued on glass, like the little glass
I've
squares.
heard of this.
That's yeah.
That's
All
the
right, I just
signature.
sent you a couple of pictures. They're gonna yeah, that's his signature. Also, Ali's shop is right there in SoCal too.
Hmm.
Yeah, I there is such a great collection of like reefers. There's a high density of good reefers and good fish stores in Southern California.
As that there and Orlando, they both seem to have like tons.
SoCal, they don't seem to be online. They're not, but even the folks in like the SCMAS, they are such experienced reefers. There are some good reefers in that club. So I sent you some videos. Just take a look. That's the outdoor tank, dude.
That's cool.
Feel free to share one if you want, but yeah, that's the outdoor tank, man. The filtration and all the stuff that's going on is nuts.
Am I allowed to share them?
You could just show it on the screen. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, yeah,
It's pretty cool
yeah.
though.
That's just, I know. And what you're looking at is it's really cool. So here is where he was separating the stuff I think to take to Reefapalooza.
Yeah.
That was like a yeah. And by the way, no filter. That's actually just the underwater LEDs. I wasn't using a
Just
filter.
pure glow.
Yes.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, look at this tank. So he's glued LEDs on the side, all blue LEDs on the side. And this is outside. There is so the sump is ground level, so he excavated and put recessed tanks in the ground. So that's the sump.
Hmm.
And it goes like from tank to tank. The pipes are going underground. I'm thinking, doesn't it get too hot? But he uses fans when it's raining. He has the awnings can come down, which shields it from rain. Dude, it's really cool.
That is cool. I want to see this in person now.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty awesome. I like crazy things like that and just like extreme things and like out of the box things. Like I love stuff like that.
Hmm.
So cool.
Apart from it being crazy, the
Mhm.
dude grows corals, and he has a booth at the show, so he grows coral well. Um, yeah, Top Shelf just did a someone just did Top Shelf just did a video with Oh Too Many Fish, who also has an outdoor.
Mhm.
Um, but I think I have to say, man, when I see Garrett's color and the stuff is 20 years old, when I'm asking him about like he's made upgrades throughout the years, but Steve Garrett was a 20-year-old kid when he set this system up,
That's
and it was
hardcore.
built really well. Where he's done tweaks over the years. So I'm man at 20 years old, man, I wasn't doing anything creative.
Hey, you got to think if those OG corals have been in there for 20 years, those things can survive anything living outside in his backyard. And
Yeah, Hmm.
Yep.
And the reason you don't hear more about it is because it's Steve Garrett, and he's just willing to just chill, the most chill guy, the most I've yeah.
Yeah,
So
that sounds pretty
yep.
awesome.
So
Okay.
that's the type of stuff. Route 66. Eric, I definitely think you should the cleanest wholesaler. When before the first time I nice guy.
Hmm.
I see him at Reefapalooza, New York. Awesome guy. So when I before I met him, Greg said, "Hey, he runs a wholesaler, but he treats the corals like they're corals in his tank. So it's not a typical wholesaler. And when something isn't doing well, he's not a wholesaler. He's like, I'm gonna try and save that. So he's the one I first saw that was doing potassium chloride to dip. So when stuff isn't doing well, he gives it extra attention. So
Hmm.
yeah, man, I love going out there. The people out there. That's why I keep asking you to go to the
This whole stream's
SoCal
a
show
sales
because
pitch for me to come out there. I love
I
it.
know, man. I know. I know. And you're gonna meet every if you join
Mm,
the club meetings, you're gonna meet all the guys on the club meeting.
that's cool.
Yeah.
No, I should join them for fun.
Hmm. You should.
I should. I like it.
Hmm.
All right. We'll make this happen. High probability.
Yeah. So we've been ignoring the chat, so let's some questions from the chat. I see one from Mike Bodkin. I've flown with corals a few times. One time they told me I had to dump out the water to be able to bring the coral, fill up with sink water in the bathroom. Um,
Be
th-
like, sir,
I
your
told you
taps are not salt water.
that's why I use the P cups. That's why I like going with the P cups. Although, like, I bring bags every couple of times, and I don't think I've ever lost anything. I don't think I've ever not lost everything, but I don't think they've ever given me trouble.
They've been like little bits about it, and then I printed out some paper about like rock flowers or something, and basically saying you're allowed to bring it, and I'd always just be like,
Yeah. I also check a lot of if I'm like last year when I was coming back from Cali, I had a lot of things,
hmm
so I just got someone to box it up styrofoam with heat packs, and I checked it,
yeah.
and everything made it home fine. Now, what happened after it came home? That was a different story, but it got home fine,
Did you
absolutely
did you have
fine.
one of those papers of we've inspected your package for your own safety?
No, I just had Delta check it, so
Hmm.
it wasn't cargo.
Hmm.
Delta
Oh, I
just
guess you're internal. You don't get it. I have all those things
actually,
for cross
I
border.
told them it was live coral because the box I got from the person said live coral and live fish.
Hmm.
So you're right, it did go through an extra inspection, but I was told if you didn't tell us that, it would have just been checked like a normal box.
Hmm.
But I guess they handled it with care because it said
That's
live
nice.
fish on the box this side up. So it didn't cost me anything more. It just took me a long time because they had to call in extra people.
To check it.
Yes.
Hmm. Apparently, because salt water is corrosive, that they do like extra stuff with it too.
Ah.
So I've been told.
Ah.
I know,
I didn't.
but
They didn't ask about saltwater. I think it just said fish.
okay. Either way, it's good to know. As long as it makes it, that's what matters at the end of the day, right?
It did. It
Hmm.
did. Um.
Explained to
Yep.
them it was live coral, and they didn't really unstated what I was talking. Understand what I was talking about. They got the dude changed, and he knew. They tested the water and said it was all good. Let's pop a salinity meter in there. Yep, looks good. Like, I wonder where they actually test. But
I don't know. They just they do it for the explosive. They have the little explosive test.
yeah, like, all
Um.
right, it's not explosive. You're good. But if like
Some
something is alive in there, obviously it's not going to be something toxic or bad.
That's true. I've never brought fish, but yeah, coral. I'm not sure. I'm just glad I've never had issues.
Nope, I agree with you on that one.
Reef Theory said, except last year, Rap Cali Anaheim was almost 110 Fahrenheit. He's correct. Although I'm not outside during the day, I get up in the morning, 6 a.m., and I walk about,
Hmm.
go get breakfast, walk about. That's just, um, and then I come back, walk the show. I'm in the show all day. And then I don't go back out till the sun starts to go down. So I'm not out. It's probably hot, but I'm not outside when it's during the day.
That's fair. Okay, I'm googling right now. August
Yeah.
30/31.
It was hot. I remember Greg telling me, "Oh, you literally just missed the heat wave." I remember Greg telling me that.
Good strategy. Okay, good
Yeah,
potential. I like it. Um,
love it. You should come. Let me know if you listen, man. Let me know if you want me
I'll work
to
on
sell
things.
it some more for you. Send you some data that the wife would appreciate. But California show.
It will probably involve bringing the wife and kid and tacking on Disney.
Down the street, dude. Bring a stroller and you can push the kiddo to Disney. Like, yeah, most of the hotels in the area are there for Disney.
Yeah, that's true.
We're gonna be staying at the Sheraton. The Sheraton is where the Marriott, but the when we were at the Hilton across the street, if you got one of the back rooms, you can actually see the fireworks at night.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Good potential. I like it.
I know,
Yeah. Um, so back to reef tanks.
I know. Well,
Yeah,
that was reef
it's reef
adjacent.
related.
Yeah.
Reef related.
So I just want to see people in the chat just take a minute and just put some of the other shows that you are doing
Reefability
this year.
app. $50
I
super
know.
chat. Whoa, thank you very much.
What?
I know. Dang. Thank you very much, sir.
I want to see what other shows people are attending. People are going to.
Okay, shout out to Reefability. Thank you very much for that. But
I know.
I am slightly just extra publicity for this one. But have you played with that? I haven't played with it, but it's supposed to be like the
I
AI
pl-
app for stuff.
so I did play with it when it first came out,
Mm-hmm.
but it's in beta. So my beta expired after a while. I'm not sure if it went live. Oh, yeah. So the beta. Oh, I think I'm gonna have to download it again
No.
because I was one of the early beta testers. But all right, I did play with it when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like early alpha. So I do not like to review and give public opinion about something that's not released because you have to give the developers a chance to make it right. And for the 3 weeks I was using it, there were changes every day. So it was
Mm-hmm.
obvious they were working on it. So it wouldn't have been fair for me to give my opinion on something, right? That
Mm-hmm.
was so new, that was still being worked on. So um, let me know if it's still in beta. I just did a quick update on it, downloaded again, and it looks like the app has changed a lot since I used it.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they're working on it. It looks like there's a hardware section now. Um, there's a hardware suite, Captivate. Maybe they have a tie-in with Captivate. Um,
All right, I'll have to play the beta somewhere later
yeah.
on. Come back.
Mhm. All right.
Dun-dun-dun.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So let me know what you think.
So, to play later.
How is your Hello Reef tank?
It is doing pretty darn good. I gave it both tanks a water change. I'm trying to be really good this year. It's like by reefer resolution. I'm trying to like once a month give the tanks a water change.
And that's how that working.
I did it today, and
So
I
I
did it
set
last
mine up.
month before I went away.
I set mine up
And
2 weeks ago. I haven't gone back to the office to see. I had to set it up and leave.
fair
I didn't
enough.
put any coral back in it. Just my two clownfish and the auto feeder. So um, actually, I'm gonna log into my hydros now and see how it is. I did put optical sensor to know when the ATO is low, but I know at some point this week I have to go stop by the office and like fill the ATO. So it's called the Stella tank for my company.
Mm-hmm.
So it says the low water sensor is wet.
Phew,
So there you go. My ATO still has water in it. It's not running dry.
perfect. This is a very bad picture of the Nano beside me on my desk, but
Oh, it looks good.
yeah, well, just the reflections, everything else. But got my little clown in there, and some zoas, and some bounce mushrooms, and
Dendro. Yeah.
yeah, dendro, some rock flowers. Got little porcelain crabs and lots of random little creatures. Yeah, it's doing pretty good overall. Bunch of
So
gonies.
I had the max spec 12-gallon tank in
Mm-hmm.
my office, and I replaced it with the Hello Reef kit. I think someone hooked me up. Jen, so I don't know if she's here. Jen from Marco Rocks. We worked out a deal,
Nice,
so I got this tank from her.
nice.
Um, So the big difference between it and the dice tank is the filtration section of the dice tanks are really tight. This
Hmm.
has a larger filtration area in the back, so I think I'm gonna have more fun with it. Also, the dice, the filter socks area was built in; you couldn't remove it. So, I see now some of those automatic filter rollers for Nano. I think I'm gonna get one of those and be
Nice.
able to stick it in so I won't have to do as many water changes or do changes with filter socks. So
Hmm.
that's some of the upgrades I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to put a skimmer on it, but I will put one of those automatic filter rollers.
Hmm. Let me know how that works. I'm curious how they work on a Nano.
Yeah, there's a I think Red Sea has one.
Hmm.
Um I think Red Sea makes one. I think Innovative Marine makes one. I think there's a couple other companies that make one. I don't know if the Red Sea one is only for Red Sea aquariums.
Dimensions fit
It,
fits,
yeah,
but
it's made for the max spec Nano system, so it might not work.
hmm.
So I'm curious if anyone knows which one of the Nano filter rollers works for. Yeah, works for like the Hello Reef tank. I'm on it, but I'm gonna add one because
Okay.
it'll make my life so much easier.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Do yeah, I don't even have any filter socks on mine. It's just flow through.
I know, but it gets fed every day. It's at the office. I'm not the only one taking care of it. It's being fed. I'm sure my coworkers
That's
are
fair.
passing and was like, let's feed the fish.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Woody's Reef.
What do you
Oh, are you using the new Radeon update? I don't think so.
what changed? I probably am.
I don't know. Maybe I will. Is there anything a particular I should be looking out for?
I always just update mine whenever it says there's an update, so
Yeah, I don't know.
no pending updates. I would say I'm using it.
Okay. All right.
All right, all right.
All right. No, I don't have any updates. Oh, I did see the new AI. Oh, you have one. You little.
I do. I like them.
Yeah, I know. Uh,
What do you
uh,
think?
I saw one. I like it. I am anxious to check it out.
I was wondering
I've
if
been
the
running.
it was about the lighter and me having them.
Oh, both.
Oh no, I
Oh,
beta
I
tested
oh
them. I've actually had them for a while. I'm
I
not
know
that
you
low.
did, and you did. The fact that you didn't tell me,
I
I
was sworn to
don't know.
secrecy.
There's a trust issue here because I don't know if you thought I would tell you. I texted you and asked you about them, and you're like, "Yeah, I like them. They're gonna be cool." You didn't tell me you had them.
Didn't ask. I
All right.
was laughing because I was like, whenever I have my tank on, like streams or whatever, with like the different camera angles, like my camera's like strategically lower to chop them out and stuff. They're like just out of frame. But yeah.
So when I texted you about them, you're like, "Oh yeah, it looks cool. I like the mount," and I was like, "What do you mean you like the mount?" That's what I was saying in my head. I was like, and then
Yeah,
I
just
think, I don't know if you sent me a picture. You say, yeah, I've been testing them. No, I said to you, like, oh, you said, how do you know about them? I said, oh, a video's out. And you're like, okay, I guess the secret's out. And then you
well,
texted me a picture of your tank with it. I was like, oh,
I
you.
freaking love this because I hate seeing light sources, and the fact that I can just tilt it is so nice. So you're just like boop, and it's not in your eyes.
Uh,
That I love. I think that's such a
mm.
cool feature. It's like
Yeah,
those little underrated things.
I want to get my hands on one to like fully put through the ringer. I need to do a review on the X4 because that I've been running for a while and I haven't done a review on it. So um, that's a light I'm really loving too.
Hmm.
I love this light, like the smaller version of the Hydra 44, the
Hmm.
X4. I think they fit into a great category. I love the Hydra and X4. The price is less,
Hmm.
the wattage is less, but I don't know much people who run their Radeons at 100%. A lot of us buy 200, 220-watt lights and then run it at 50%. So to get like a X4 or a Hydra in that class and then run it at 80%, I think is best value for money. So
Oh,
I
for
am a
sure.
fan of that category of lights within the 100 to 120-watt category of lights.
Yeah, I mean, most people that's all you need. Unless you have a super deep tank, you don't need that. Or if you're crazy wide and you just want the extra spread, but the majority of the time, you're going to be better off buying two smaller fixtures over one and just physically spreading them out, right? You have more plugs, you have more stuff above it, and you got to consider the mounting, but usually that's more economical.
Agreed.
And yeah, if your tank's like
100%
3 feet
agreed.
deep and you need that extra punch, I mean, that's another consideration. But for the average, 2 foot or less tank, I think that's the
Yeah.
smarter way to go.
Agreed. Agreed. Totally agreed.
Yep. Ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop. But yeah, no, overall, I think they're pretty cool lights. They have really nice color pop on them too, and they're quiet. At least me at my 50% ish schedule, like I never noticed the fans on them.
There is something about there's something, and again, I'm totally learning. So I had this conversation in Connecticut. I saw Jay and Cade were there.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Sperandino. I hope I said that right. I've seen Jay at enough shows where I should know how he pronounces his last name. Cade Shemansky. Can't mess that up but um I had a conversation with them, a quick conversation with them, and I said, I like that blue. There are certain lights, like I like the Illumagic blue. I like the Hydra. I used to love the Hydra blue.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Hydra blue. The Radeon blue, I tolerate it, but I don't think it's the same crisp blue. And they said, oh no, we're using different LEDs. I said, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I thought everyone was just using, he's like, yeah, even within the same manufacturer, there's different like light classes, there's different tolerances. He
Mm-hmm.
said a lot more than that. A lot of it went over my head again because I'm not that technical when it comes to lights, but I remember him saying like, no, we sourced that, we wanted that look, that's something we look for. And I think that's why, there's like, people are really obsessed with like the color of the souls,
Yep.
like the old AI souls. So whatever, I don't remember what the word he used, bin, whatever they're trying to source
Yeah.
for the AI LEDs, they're actually looking for a particular look.
That makes sense. I mean, it's going to be that nanometer, and there's going to be variations within the batches, and it's trying to find like whatever that exact spectrum that's within the range that you're going for, and blah blah blah. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense to you, but I thought like, oh, they're looking for it's a Cree 450 nanometer LED. I thought, of course, there's going to be a variation, but he's like, no. What you just said, there is a huge range in between. Do you want top quality? Do you want this? How much variation do you want from the? So he's like, yeah, it's way more
Yeah.
complicated than that.
You're like, I want 450, but is it 440 or 460, right? It's like within whatever tolerance of the range, and yep. But
Yeah.
here,
Okay.
here's the thing: like they're all gonna grow corals, but which color pop or which variation rendition do you prefer?
hmm
So,
Whatever Elo Magic is using and whatever Hydra has used
yep.
historically,
Mm-hmm.
I've been a fan of those. When I go in the perfect place for me to see it is going in my LFS where they have Radions, they have Hydras, they have X4s, and you're able to take a step back and just look at all the different LEDs. They also have blades, so you're able to. They have some Reef Brights and some of the systems, so you're able to take a step back and look at these. Especially when the store is about to close and the lights are off, that's the time to really. I'm like, okay, I do like that color there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. It's kind of cool to see them all side by side. That's always like a harder thing to do.
Agreed.
Dun, dun, dun. But yeah, no, overall, like with the Gani tank and the torches, like they have a really nice color pop under these lights. I do quite like it.
I
Ironically, I
know.
got to figure out that part of the schedule, but I think about 3 hours ago, there's a certain point in the day when I was like, it looks extra good right now. Like I got to figure out what my schedule is at that exact point and like play with that, tweak that a bit.
Yeah. I'm so jealous of your Gandhi Tang, dude.
Slowly but surely,
No,
I'm on a hunt
it's
for
all
more
right.
and more Ganis. But yeah, all right, we do got to wrap up fairly soon. I said I'd keep her
We do?
short today. Yeah, because the kid's a bit
Okay.
sick today.
Any questions? Let's see questions. Anyone has any questions for us?
Any burning questions? Please do ask again if we did not answer.
O is the nicest person you've ever met. Thank you. Not a question, but I appreciate it.
He is very
Devin
nice.
is the nicest person you've ever met, too. He's Canadian, so it's assumed, dude. Canadians, you guys
Yep.
are too nice.
Any of you guys keeping tunicates? I have in the past. I do not currently have any. but I did keep those like heart-shaped looking ones for a while. It did eventually bite the dust on me. It kind of slowly faded. I'm gonna guess it probably needs more like phyto and small particulate foods because they're primarily a filter feeder. This was in my early days of reefing, but
Okay.
yeah,
Never try to keep it, so
yeah, they look like little
not
hearts
something.
almost. At least the one that I had, and I had these other really cool ones that they were. I think a fish ate them, but they're like little blue transparent tubes. They're also pretty cool looking.
Let me
So
see.
I've tried a couple different kinds. It's been
I'm
a while
trying to
since I've
log
seen them
into.
though.
I'm trying to log into the Aqua Wiz app.
Hmm. Yeah, every
Yeah,
time.
it's a really simple app. Like it's telling me what my okay. So since you it's tested again, it's in the middle of a test now.
Hmm.
So it's telling me my probe health is 100%. There's 8.89. My target DKH is 9. Um, I did set the fact that I have no dosing solution. So when you tell it you have no dosing solution, that's the way to turn off. And you
Mm-hmm.
see my graph of my alkalinity steady. I
Hold.
might tighten the graph. It's between 7. So the range of the graph is 7 and 11, and you can see there's the variation.
How is the schedule like? Just out of curiosity, how is the stability throughout the day? Like, is it does it swing valleys? Is it fairly stable? Because testing
Mm,
hourly, you see a lot more of the trends, right?
I think mine is stable because I'm just doing so my calc wasser what my calc was high, and what I basically did was only have calc running for a few hours a night to let it drop. So it's actually been my alk is actually no steady. It's steady. You can see where I messed. Like this is how steady it is. Like last week, I was actually messing with it, and you can see there was a spike and then it dropped. But
Mm.
it is entirely consistent. Yes. Hmm.
John,
It is.
are you on it this time from now on? Yeah, this is kind of like my standard time as of the last few months is 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern.
Mm, yeah, I think this is a good time. This is a better time for me. 7 8 because if I do go, I typically am in the office on Wednesdays. Not today.
Hmm.
I've been having some bad vertigo the last couple days, so this gives me enough time where if I leave work at 5, I can still get home, eat dinner, and
Perfect.
then still stream. So this is a good, really good time for me.
Perfect. It pretty much turned into my wife works until 5, so I'm like, okay, I'll start at 5:10. It's just easier with the kiddo to just wait that till she's off and give myself that 5-10 minutes to prep for the stream. So yeah, this is the
Darn
basically the new
kids, right?
standard issue time for the foreseeable future. But yeah,
Yeah,
thanks
your
for
kids, right? Your life has to revolve around them, right?
yes, it is. But I still make the streams happen, so
I appreciate
got
it.
to do what you
You've
got to do.
been doing this thing for years, man.
It's crazy dedication to the cause, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Good luck.
Dun, dun, dun.
I I I appreciate you doing it.
I appreciate you joining me, and I appreciate everyone watching, hanging out with us tonight. So thank you guys. You know,
Yep, thank you.
as
And I'll see
always,
you at Rap
probably yeah.
Cali.
Hopefully. All right, guys. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button. If you're new, subscribe. Reef,
Reefing with O.
Reefability. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Alyssa, enjoy your kimchi, and we will see you guys in next week's stream.
All right. Thank
Peace.
you,
Bye.
everyone. Thank you for listening. Always a pleasure. Appreciate it.